my season. Yeah, we walk through the door so accusing, their eyes like they have any right at all to criticize hypocrites. You're all here for the very same reason. 'Cause you can't jump the track, we're like cars on a cable, and life's like an hourglass glued to the table. No one can find the rewind button, girl, so cradle your head in your hands and breathe, just breathe. Turned 21 on the base of Fort Bliss just today. He sat down at the flask on his fist. Ain't been sober since maybe October of last year. Here in town you can tell he's been down for a while, but my God, it's so beautiful when the boy smiles, wanna hold him. Maybe I'll just sing about it. 'Cause you can't jump the track, we're like cars on a cable, and life's like an hourglass glued to the table. No one can find the rewind button, boys, so cradle your head in your hand and breathe, just breathe, oh breathe, just breathe. There's a light at each end of this tunnel. You shout 'cause you're just as far in as you'll ever be out, and those mistakes you made, you'll just make them again if you only try turning around. 2 a.m. and I'm still awake, writing a song. If I get it all down on paper, it's no longer inside of me, threatening the life it belongs to. And I feel like I'm naked in front of the crowd, 'cause these words on my diary screaming out loud, and I know that you'll use them however you want to. But you can't jump the track, we're like cars on a cable, and life's like an hourglass glued to the table. No one can find the rewind button now. Sing it if you understand. And breathe, just breathe. Oh, breathe, just breathe. Oh, breathe, just breathe. Oh, breathe, just breathe.
Please stand and join us in singing Day by Day.
Oh Good morning. Buenos dias. How do you like that Castilian accent? Happy to be back from my vacation, but I must say that I really miss my Unity family. It's not the same without you, so really, really happy to be back, full of energy and excitement for the work we do and what we stand for. And I must say that this book on the Jewel of Abundance has, so far so good, has been great. I hope you've had a chance to either be here to listen to Newsom or read the book. I believe that her message is so relevant to what is happening in our country, and I would like to start today's service by quoting her. Ellen Grace O'Brien. Fear, greed, sexism, racism, xenophobia, militarism, war, and injustice of every kind comes from the consciousness of scarcity. It's time for this to change, and we are ready. There is no turning back the tide of spiritual evolution. To cooperate with this transformation, this evolutionary jump for humanity, we must not allow ourselves to be sidetracked, fooled, set up, or put down by fear-based messages, no matter where they come from. The worst ones are those in our minds, and those we can readily change. So that's why I'm a Unity minister, that's why I belong to this church, and I belong to this movement, for I believe that our consciousness does matter. And to pick this quote, she goes on into saying, we are awakening to our potential to create a prospering world that works for everyone. If there is no lack in God, why do we see it? We have collectively believed it. The lack that we perceive in our world is not a problem with the source, but it is a spiritual development problem. Humanity is right now like a toddler with a power tool. The power is there, the potential is there, but we don't yet fully understand and know how to put it into good use. So, if you want to know more about these principles of abundance, as per Ellen, be reminded that she'll be here all weekend. There's more information out there. And also, there's a group from our community that is getting together on Tuesday at 7 p.m. to discuss more. So, anyways, this is my opening statement. I would like to also welcome everybody officially, and especially those of you who are connecting online. It's beautiful. I did manage to connect one day for a little while, and it was wonderful. Like, I'm in Spain, and I'm watching our service. So we stay open to whoever is ready for this message to join in. And I'm ready for my first announcement, I guess. And that is that this Thursday at 7, once again, we are offering an open mic night. Either you want to admire somebody else's talent or you want to bring your own, but just show up. Like I was saying this morning, Spaniards are always socializing, and they tend to eat better than us. I ran into this article that said that this year it was named the healthiest country in the world. And I believe that a lot has to do with community. So be mindful if you haven't shown up to this open mic night, this might be a good opportunity to do so. Then the upcoming Sunday, August 25th, we are having a business fair. Many of our own congregants are going to have exhibition of their businesses and services, and other people from the nearby community are doing that as well. So I think we might have from 25 to 30 businesses being displayed after both services. So I believe we're going to have some free sampling from some of the nearby restaurants, so it might be all worth it for you to join us that day. Last but not least, As you know, Karen and Judy Crane make sure that our fellowship hall looks really neat and nice, and now they're gonna start one exhibition called Around the World in 91 Days, and we're asking for those of you who might have personal photograph of your adventures abroad to bring your picture by September 1st or September 2nd. Might have some from Spain that I would like to share. I think I'm done with this, so I'm going to ask everybody to please stand and join us in singing the welcome song.
Please take a moment, turn and greet the beautiful Christ Spirit and the people immediately next to you.
Welcome. I'm Linda Giles. I've been a member here at Trinity of the Triangle for about 5 years. Today I was asked to do a reading on Ellen Grace O'Brien's book, The Jewel of Abundance. It looks like we're all doing that today. Reverend Mimi approached me and did the actual asking, but I believe the divine creator had more to do with the request. A leftover belief about wealth and money has kept me stuck for some time. I've worked on it several times, but still some remnants of it seem to stick on me. Those early learnings go deep and wide. I guess that's why we have to keep doing the minding of finding truth and truths about ourselves. Why we need to keep coming and keep doing the study groups and reading the books and hearing each other and seeing each other and learning. I bought the last book that was on the shelf last Sunday, but I was told we have a whole new set of them for today, so you don't have to worry about not getting one. And then I began to read it. By Tuesday morning, I awakened at 4 o'clock in the morning and was getting this download. It was not just about Ellen's book, but it was about my system of integrating the information into what I have already known. She talks about the higher power, our higher purpose, which is related to our higher power, right? And how it sets the foundation upon our hearts. She talked about insight, the roadmap to abundant living, and then there was the skill set, how to realize fulfillment, then the clarity, looking at the obstacles that get in our way so that we can thrive. And last was about generosity, how to live that prospered life. Ellen writes, the word prosperity and wealth are often narrowly defined and are misunderstood as material accomplishments alone. They are meant to be understood in a spiritual context. They provide the means to live a full and freely flowing life for the sake of our souls. Prosperity and wealth are spiritual tools. When the truth is missed, both prosperity and wealth lose their deep meaning. When they are understood and applied in this context, it makes all the difference. It is a both and not an either or experience. The download for me included another book that the Franciscan monk Richard Rohr wrote. It's called The Immortal Diamond. When this came, I got that aha, and I felt like Newsom last week when he kept saying, I got this, I got this. Both the Jewel of Abundance and the Immortal Diamond are ways of waking us up to our truth, to our true selves, and to the abundant nature of our lives. Two traditions, perennial wisdom. William Stafford says in his poem, The Way It Is, there is a thread you follow. It goes among things that change, but it doesn't change. People wondered about what you are pursuing. You have to explain about that thread. It is hard for others to see. While you hold it, you can't let it go. Tragedy happens, people get hurt or die, and you suffer and get old. Nothing you can do stops time from unfolding. You never let go of the thread. To me, the thread is the true self, the jewel of abundance, the immortal diamond. And we've been mining it all with all of our seeking. Our true self is who we really are, who we have always been. Love is who we are and who we are becoming. We're like the sunflower seeds, becoming our own sunflowers. We are the gems of abundance. Waking up to the abundantness of life. We are love. We are love. We are love. Thank you.
As we hold the intentions of this prayer box, I'd like to invite all of the prayer ministry to please stand and assist us in holding sacred space. Let us pray. As we center into prayer, fully present to this moment, and also deeply centered in the essence of our being. We release any old belief systems of lack or separateness and claim our innate wholeness. Our highest happiness is bliss, experienced through self-knowledge, self-knowing, and the realization of who we are truly, our divine nature. There is nothing that can take away our true joy, for it is innate within us and not dependent upon outer circumstances or individuals. As we flow in the bliss and follow our bliss, we are centered in this concept of love, happiness, wealth, and prosperity. And we seek truly our soul and the divine. We claim our highest happiness for ourselves and every individual in this prayer box, for our happiness contributes to the happiness of all. With gratitude, we rest in the peace and calm that comes from following our bliss, and so we let it be. Amen.
As we move into meditation, let us begin by adjusting the way we sit so that we can be comfortable, and then begin to pay attention to the breath and feel the breath as it comes and goes. Simple practice that brings a sense of quiet to the mind. It's the feeling of the breath, feeling it come in, feeling it go out. as we move deeper, let us practice a little visualization and insight through imagination. So we begin by imagining that the divine can take a form of the female. So the feminine side of the divine is standing on your left side. And at the same time, we can imagine that the divine takes a masculine form and is standing on your right side. They place a hand on your shoulder and they whisper in your ear words. As they do so, you feel the divine feminine saying something in your left ear. You can imagine, what is it that she would say? And on your right side, you hear the masculine speaking to you, and you imagine what he would say. Then as you begin to sit there, feeling their presence, you feel their hand on your shoulder and imagine, sense, feel a flow of energy from them through their hand down to your heart as it flows past your shoulder. And there is a blending of their two energies in your heart. A fullness of both the masculine and feminine sides. And as the heart opens and it feels more full with the presence of the divine, both as fully masculine and fully feminine, we awaken also our intuition to see how that might play in our own lives. How we might understand ourselves and others better. How we might be more capable because we're using all of ourselves. How we might come into full acceptance of more of ourselves and more of other people by knowing our full self. And for a few minutes now, we'll have time to integrate that. And let us sit together in this sacred silence together, using our imagination, using our hearts, and deepening our understanding. you. Beautiful day, isn't it? I think the weather's turning in our favor, maybe. And it's nice. It's nice to see such a beautiful, shiny day. I think we're all happy to see that. I want to just talk briefly about the nature of the world as I see it. It seems like this country is in a great deal of anxiety. Statistically, we have the highest number of cases of anxiety we've ever had. And people are worried about a lot of stuff. And I'm going to say this, what I'm going to tell you will not fix everything, but I would recommend this. If you happen to be one of the people who listens to MSNBC or Fox News, that you stop immediately and just give it up. Just stop reinforcing that thought. Because you can armor up with your own, I've seen it with my friends, they armor up to defend against the other station's thought process, but it doesn't really do anything. It only makes you more upset. I had a family member whose psychiatrist said, you have to stop watching or listening to that form of news because our medications are not strong enough to protect you. And he has, and he's a happier person. And the woman he's married to is a happier woman, too. And so this is addictive, I know. It's especially addictive to feel like you're right. And one of the things that the media does so well now is they have a coordinated message. This is actually going to come around to my topic, but they have a coordinated message so that the politicians say the same thing that the newscaster says that you read in print. And so those messages have been designed so that they would reinforce each other, and it would be the obvious truth because everybody is saying it, which is almost like the topic of the day, which is affirmations, which is that when you begin to believe something, then you act upon it in that way. But not only do you act upon it, but it affects you physiologically. And so if you're prone to anxiety and you're listening to anxious or angry broadcast, and someone is telling you that the world is falling apart in this direction because of those people, then your body begins to respond to it in a certain way, and it reinforces and it begins to affect your mind. And your mind then goes, oh, I feel anxious, therefore I must look for confirming evidence to confirm my anxiety, and it reinforces, it starts to loop all over again. And so it's easy to get in the habit of confirming the way you feel by going back to the source that caused you to feel that way. And the process, that's just the same thing an affirmation does, is it gives you a thought. And if you repeat this affirmation often enough, it gives you a physiological change. And that physiological change will tell your mind to look for things that agree with the way you feel, and then you will be off in a different track. And the beauty of an affirmation that is chosen, even written by you, is that it tells you what you need to have a more abundant life rather than what will make you more anxious. So it's like taking control of your life. Or as someone says, we don't use the word control anymore, we use the word manage. A lot of us have had managing relationships, haven't we? Where they managed us somehow. We are in the process of becoming all the time. And so we're not static, it's not fixed who we are. We are always evolving, and this evolutionary thing says that if you want to change your life, you can, because it's always a dynamic thing. And it only gets stuck there because we don't take a management position over it. And to choose what you want to hear and say to yourself, and say it, and do it. Actually do it. And I believe if we did, I think we could cut down on some of the generic anxiety that's out there. Each of us will be anxious at some point, for sure, because life throws things at us, and we will be depressed because we'll have losses, all that will happen, but we want to be healthy as we can be, and resilient as we can be. And so there's an affirmation that I'm going to work with. It's the one that Ellen Grace O'Brien did, and it's this one. I am now in my right place. I am happy, healthy, and prosperous in all ways, and I live in the constant awareness of the presence of Spirit. So let me do a little breakdown of this just to maybe make it have more gusto in its meaning. The I am is a great way to start your affirmation. I am. It is the primary thought anyway. If you think of it as thought, consciousness before there is a thought, undifferentiated consciousness. If you have an undifferentiated consciousness, the first thing it needs pretty much is an agent. It needs something to have a predicate with. It needs something that has something to happen afterwards. And that agent is the I am. This I am is essentially your first thought, your inclination anyway. The first inclination that comes out of your quiet mind, the first one would be I, usually. And in this case, we say I am in the sense that it declares what it is. Like we don't say I strong, we say I am. And this I am is what you're going to declare. But first you have the agent, and that is you. Now this statement, I am, has been around for a long time in the Judeo-Christian tradition as well. So in the Judeo-Christian tradition, both Jesus and Moses have an encounter with it. So Moses has this encounter with the burning bush. He's at the burning bush, and the bush is telling him stuff to do he doesn't want to do. And it says, yeah, but you're going to do it anyway. And he says, well, give me some authority. Who shall I say sends me? And the bush says, tell him I am that I am sent you. I am the self-existent I am that I am. That is who sent you. And that is echoed again in the Jesus statements of I am the way, the truth, and the light. This I am is the I am that was there before, as Jesus said, I am before Abraham was, I am. It's the same one. This is the universal becoming the particular. This is the I am. In the first case, it's Moses, the universal staying the universal. And in Jesus' case, it's the universal becoming the particular. And the universal that becomes particular is I am the way, the truth, and the light. That is an affirmation. It's an affirmation that he proved in the resurrection, right? So that's how the story goes. You declare a thing and it becomes something. And this I am is the beginning of your affirmation. I am. Boom. Not I will be, which is weaker, but I am. And the reason you can say I am, even when it doesn't feel to be true, even though when it's not evident in your bank account, when you can say something like I am prosperous, is that in your nature, you are prosperous. And in your potential, you are prosperous. And you can be prosperous in consciousness before there is consciousness in physicality. So you declare in your consciousness, in what you're thinking, feeling, I am prosperous. And in time, it will show up in the outer world. So first there's the agent, I am, and then you declare an outcome. And so the outcome is I am happy, healthy, and prosperous in all ways. But one of the things she does in this first one is she sets the conditions for you to believe this, which it says, it answers essentially one of the fundamental doubts that most people have is, am I doing the right thing? Am I in the right place? Am I with the right people? And she does that with one statement, one simple statement, which is, I am now in my right place. Which would mean if you were sitting at the dinner table with somebody, you must be with the right person, right? Or you're at work, I am in the right place to work. At least at this moment, I am in the right place. Everywhere I am, I'm in the right place. You're on vacation. Is this where I should be on vacation? Yes, you're in the right place. Should be here. So it answers the fundamental fear that most of us have, is this uncertainty about what's happening. First thing, I am in the right place. Perfect. Okay, good. Now what am I? I am happy, healthy, and prosperous. I am happy, healthy, and prosperous in all ways. So this means that you're healthy in your thought process. It means you're happy under the difficult circumstances as well. And it means that you're prosperous in more ways than money. So as Anna said, in Spain, they have a very, very prosperous social life. Along with that comes nice, clean food to eat and the time to share meals and conversation. It's a different culture than we have, where we get a fast food so that we can get on with our day to do something productive or something at least busy, and often on our own. Which is there, it's more like, well, as Anna said, they take the month of August off. A lot of businesses just close down. Wouldn't that be a trip? Right? Americans, all of us say, well, you know, it's August. We're not working this month, which is what I'm going to do. But we're going to drop it. We can be prosperous in ways that aren't about the bank account. Not that the bank account's not important. Everybody knows that. I'm not trying to deny that. I'm just saying that when the word prosperous comes up, it means much more than just your dollars. It means your full life. And this adds to a little complexity of your life, that you can't reduce it down to one thing. So you have to say now, what is a full life? What is a full and happy life? How might I be happy, healthy, and prosperous in all areas of life rather than just a single one? So when you hear this, I am prosperous, it means an abundant life. So I declare I exist, and I am the agent in my life, and as the agent in my life, I choose to be happy, healthy, and prosperous. And then the last one there is I live in a constant state of awareness. One of the things that happens to many people is they get a lot of the happy, healthy, and prosperous together, and there's a hollowness in their experience. So they might be famous, and they might be rich, and they might be amazingly in shape, but they don't have that fullness of life. And the third thing besides your mind and your body, the third thing is that missing thing, is that essence, that spiritual essence. And knowing and feeling that and its connection with the divine is the fulfilling aspect of it. It's why people meditate. It's why they contemplate. Is that they're getting beyond the mind alone or beyond the body alone and moving into a deeper state of awareness. And often in this deeper state of awareness, there may be fewer thoughts rather than more thoughts, and there may be more like beingness instead. But as a yogi, one of her desires is to be in a constant state of awareness with the spirit. Now the thing about the spirit is that the spirit is universal, it's everywhere, it's everybody's, and it also is yours, and where you connect with all of that. And so when you can connect with that one presence as your one presence, then there's a sense of peace and calm. And the work and the busyness of the mind has found a stable place to reside. It isn't all there is, so it's just what's happening on top. And as that being on top, you're going to be okay, no matter what. It's kind of the essence of what I was saying last week when I was saying, I got this. It's like, okay, the reason you got this is because you sit on top of a base that is universal and unending. Whereas the mind and the body come and go. They're a compounded thing, and all compounded things dissolve at some point, but this spiritual essence is forever. And when you're tapping into that, then all the things that come and go are like flowers. They add without as much fear that they will fade as they will. All things will fade. Doesn't mean you don't have health and prosperity. Yes, you may have that, and all that may be yours, and they will fade as well. But the spirit endures. It is the baseline. It is the universal. It is that consciousness that came into being, and it will always be there. And so if you can keep your attention open enough to the constants of the presence of the divine, you're much more able to handle the vicissitudes of life. I love that word, vicissitudes. I didn't know it for a long time, so it means the ups and downs, but it sounds like the ups and downs, doesn't it? Vicissitudes. So this is a good affirmation, but you may choose a different one. You may write one yourself, but try to do it in the first person present tense, with the outcome exactly what you want in the positive, not in the negative, and let it be one that has a universal aspect of it rather than a singular, very small thing like, I am state champion in basketball. Let it be something that holds greater sway in your life and can be persistent. Now, the thing that will happen is that if you say this often enough, the very thought process of doing this will change your physiology, because your physiology will match your thoughts. Now, once your physiology matches your thoughts, so you have this feeling of happiness and health and prosperity, then your body will begin to secrete whatever it does to give you that sensation of happiness, health, and prosperity. And then it will begin to start its own process because your mind will feel happy, healthy, and prosperous because your body now feels that way. And it will go, oh, I'm looking for evidence to prove why I feel this way. And you'll have the happy, healthy, prosperous evidence on the outside, and it will begin to affect you. And now it's also my belief that one of the things that will happen is that when this becomes the physiological and mental habit that you have, it will be like a radio beacon you're sending out into the world, and since all our minds are connected in some way, the world will be going, I wonder how we can help her or him be happy, healthy, and prosperous. Because we were all connected at some deep level, it will be like, oh, here's what we have to do for her. We have to make her happy, healthy, and prosperous. Not because you're separate, but because you're actually connected. And the same is true if you're really in a bad mood on a persistent basis. If you're constantly watching those bad TV shows, you're going to find that your body is shifting in that direction. Not only your body is shifting in that direction, your mind is shifted in that direction. It goes looking for evidence to prove it. And you find it. And then it cycles again. So it's really important that you manage yourself. That affirmations, or the words you say, most often will be the words you will experience most often. That you eventually become what you declare yourself to be. So that you could be happy, healthy, and prosperous, or you could be miserable, defeated, and lonely. This one's probably more fun than the other, isn't it? And that's why Unity, when it was founded almost 120 years ago, when Unity was founded, one of the foundational practices they came out with was affirmations and denials. Now, denials are a little less well known. It's not a denial in the AA sense of you are not recognizing what's really happening. Denials say, and here's the simplest way of saying it, whatever is happening has no control over my life. Meaning, you are not limited by your circumstances. And you deny its power over you. So if you're having a bad financial stretch, and you don't have any money in your account, and you have bills that are due, and you feel like everybody's got more than you do, and et cetera, and the creditors are after you, you can say, this lack of money has no control over my life. And that can be true, even without the money. You may not have the freedom that you may want, but you basically, your feeling state is not controlled by what the circumstances are, if you manage your own thought process. And so first you deny it, boom. And secondly, you come in with your affirmation, I am happy, healthy, and prosperous. And it counteracts it. And though your bank account has not changed yet, you don't live in a state of being the victim of those circumstances. You live with much more flexibility and liveliness because you're not controlled by those circumstances. So you deny it has power over you, you don't deny that it exists, you deny it does not have power over you, and you move on. You could do it with a broken arm. My broken arm I deny it has power over me. It's just a broken arm. Doesn't mean I'm a broken person. And there's the difference. Okay, so affirmation's good. Watching Fox News and MSNBC, bad. Take care of your own mind. Do not give it to someone else to tell you what to think. Choose your thoughts. And then you live your life with happiness, health, and prosperity. Let's pray. In the swirl that can be inside our heads, the swirl of past and present and future, the swirl of this and that and up and down. Let us let it coalesce in a clear direction. Let us give our mind thoughts to think so that it might produce after its kind something we enjoy. Choose something you wish to have be consistently true in your life. Something that transcends this week and next year, but is always true. I am always in the right place. I am happy, healthy, and prosperous. And I am constantly aware of the presence of Spirit. Commit these to mind, contemplate them, breathe them, physiologically change to match them. Bring your emotions in alignment with your highest thoughts. Let it be so. Let it be so. And so it is. Amen. You know, every year, somewhere in the year, I tell this story, and so this is this day when I tell the story about my first encounter with affirmations. When I went to ministerial school not believing in affirmations at all, and part of it was, you know, an affirmation that you say once and then let go of, it doesn't have great sticking power. So I took this class on prosperity, and one of the things they asked us to do was say, "I am prosperous 200 times a day." Well, that sounds like that may or may not sound like a lot. 200 times you can do, "I'm prosperous, I'm prosperous, I'm prosperous, I'm prosperous, I'm prosperous." That took maybe 10 seconds to do 5, so 200 wouldn't take long. But I had 15 minutes of travel between my house and the school, and I had each way, so I had 30 minutes a day to do that. And then on the way, when I was at home, I used to run for at least 20 minutes, so I had 20 minutes more, so that's 50 minutes. So if you think about it, it takes about 2 seconds to say one of those. You know, I had quite a few going by the end of the day. But I had some work to do because I was very convinced that I was not prosperous. I had been convinced by that for about 10 years. And I had kind of lived below the curve for a long time. I had the deep-seated feeling that something was wrong with me and that I would not succeed, etc., blah, blah, blah. I did this for several months. Now that's an affirmation. You do that for several months, let's say 2,000 times a day for several months, you're going to have a change. And one of the things that happened to me is I had a change. I started to feel really prosperous. I have never quite been able to get myself into a state of poverty consciousness as deeply as I did then. This will change your mind. But it may not be one sentence you say once a week, "I'm prosperous." That's why it doesn't work. You can change your mind. You have built it already. You can build it a different way. But it may take a bit of time and effort. but it'd be worth it. I mean, who doesn't want to be prosperous? Feel prosperous even when you have nothing. Feel prosperous even when you go into the bank for a loan. Feel prosperous. Why not that? It's so much more fun, right? And it's within your power to do it. So let's do it. Or do something. Maybe it's health or happiness, or maybe it's, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's your choice. You can do it. After all, you got this, right? Okay, we're going to take up an offering. I do want to say one more thing. We do have a class, not a class, more of a discussion, really, about the Enneagram. The Enneagram is this really brilliant, ancient way of having insight into your own personality. And so if you can know the patterns that you would likely do, then you are forewarned and able perhaps to be more adept at living your life rather than being on automatic. So that's what the discussion's about. It'll start next week. All right, let's bless our offering. Together? Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. So it is.
We got something a little different for you this morning. I hope you enjoy it. Seems like everybody's got a price. I wonder how they sleep at night. When the sale comes first and the truth comes second, just stop for a minute and smile. Why is everybody so serious? Acting so dang mysterious. Got shades on your eyes and your heels so high that you can't even have a good time. Everybody look to the left. Everybody look to the right. Can you feel that? Yeah, we're paying with love tonight. It's not about the money, money, money. We don't need your money, money, money. We just want to make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. Ain't about the cha-ching, cha-ching. Ain't about the, but bling, want to make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. We need to take it back in time when music made us all unite. And it wasn't low blows and video shows. Am I the only one getting tired? Why is everybody so obsessed? Money can't buy us happiness. Can we all slow down and enjoy right now? Guarantee we'll be feeling all right. Everybody look to the left. Everybody look to the right. Can you feel that? We're paying with love tonight. It's not about the money, money, money. We don't need your money, money, money. We just want to make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. Ain't about the cha-ching, cha-ching. Ain't about the but bling, want to make the world dance. Forget about the price tag.
Well, keep the price tag and take the cash back. Just give me 6 strings, baby, and a half stack. And you can keep the cars, leave me the garage. And all I need are keys and guitar. And guess what? In 30 seconds I'll be leaving for Mars. Yeah, we leaving across these undefeatable odds. Yeah, just like this, man, you can't put a price on life. We do this for the love, so we fight and sacrifice every night. So we ain't gonna stumble or fall, never. Waiting to see us in a sign of defeat. We gonna keep everyone moving their feet. So bring that to the beat and everybody sing.
It's not about the money, money, money. We don't need the money, money, money. We just want to make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. Not about the cha-ching, cha-ching. About the the bling, want to make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. It ain't about the money, money, money. It is about the money, money, money. We just want to make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. And about the
stall for time. And I just want to say that, the youth program here has done so well in the last year or 2 years with Janice, and I think we should just give Janice a big round of applause. Yeah. Janice has 5 sons. You would think that would be enough mothering in one lifetime. But she is like the mother of all the kids, and I think that's why they love coming, is that she loves them so much. It's part of it. All the other teachers love them, and then we have developed a culture for the kids that makes it fun to be here. And especially one of the hardest groups to keep are the teenagers, and they have grown exponentially in the last few years. So we're doing really well. We just still have one more kid. But I do want to say, I'm going to be on vacation. You won't see me for a while. Doesn't mean I don't love you. It just means I'm out of here. And, hey, Cameron. All right.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, we're going to, if y'all will stand, if the youth will stand, please, we'll give you a blessing. These words are designed for us to remember for ourselves the truth of this as well as them. So let's say it with a dual meaning. Together, you are loved, special, and important, just the way you are. Now let's join hands and we'll sing the peace song. The light of God surrounds us.
I am the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
I am the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
I am the power of God.
The presence of God watches over us.
I am the presence of God.
Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Enjoy your week.